One.
Since Spacies.
G'day invaders, welcome to Since Spacies, better late than never. My god, this is such a delay in getting this stream up and running. Have we got audio? Let me double check. Yep, we're on. How you guys doing? Thank you for joining everyone. Thank you especially Mr. Axel Stone. First time chatter, also follows, and although it's not showing up on my feed, a Prime subscriber. Thank you very much. Oh, wait. Okay, got it right that time. Okay, how you doing? Yeah, so this is a stream where I'll be looking at my top 100 video games of all time. I have no script. I have not prepared. That's how I approach most things in life. But I do have a bit of a game plan. I'm going to be just going through the back end of my memory and just trying to recall 100 games that I figured just did it for me. You know what I mean? Like made a difference. Now, these are not necessarily games that hold up today, because that would be a stupid list. I'm talking about the games that made a big difference in my life, and games that I just think not necessarily hold up today, but just made a difference. And I mean, I'm going to be getting rid of the obvious ones at the top of the list. I think though, as I get down to the last, I don't know, 20 or 30, it's going to get a little harder to try and think of games to fill in there. But we'll think of stuff. You guys can come up with suggestions. And this is just not an order. This is just 100 games. Just 100 games that I think made a difference in my life. This is my list, by the way. So if you're screaming for a rooftop that, oh, you should have been putting this game in, and it could be because I simply haven't played it. Now, this list goes back since Spacies. That's the channel name. So since Space Invaders, which you got to agree is pretty early on, because I'm old. So I think it's a fairly decent. I think it's going to be a fairly decent looking list. So even if your games don't get necessarily in that list, yeah, we'll have to just agree to disagree. Also, by the way, I got to do a bit of a shout out once again to Mr. Axel Stone for following, because that happened overnight. And as I said, I went to the Twitch dashboard, and it says that you've subscribed with Prime yesterday, but it's not showing up on my other program here, so I can't do the alert for that. But I am acknowledging it at least. All right. Also that means, here we are. You get your name. Oh, it's it's green screened out. You get your name in the book of good eggs, which I will take care of right now because I'm an old man and I will forget. So today is the 9th, isn't it? Yeah, the 9th. I'm not that old. I know what day of the week it is. So we're putting in sub Mr. Axel Stone. I'll get this sorted. And that means anyone that's in this book, along with my patrons, automatically get entered into a draw at the end of the month to win a bit of Spacies merch. Could be this book, could be a mug, could be a backpack. It depends on how good the month is. Mr. Axel Stone says, I'm just going to call you Axel. I think it's going to be easier. Axel says, thanks, I'm an old man. Right there with you. Some Spacey swag. Yes, that's right. Last week I gave away the the notepad to Retro Kaiser. He's won it twice now, so everyone's telling me it's rigged. But Ali won it, you know, the month before. So it's not rigged. He just keeps entering. So every time you drop 100 bits, or every time you donate $1, or every time you sub, for those people that do those three things, they get entered, and anyone that is a patron, so they get an automatic entry. So yeah, enough of that stuff. I think that's the housekeeping out of the way. I might use this footage for my YouTube channel. So my YouTube channel needs a bit of a kick up the bum, so I got to get some content on there. So this might be good content, I think, for that. Let's mosey on over to the green screen. No, that's not what I wanted. Why did it do that?
Here we are. Looking sharp.
Hang on a sec.
The funny thing is, I sort of look younger, I think. Maybe it's just in my mind. Oh my God.
Yeah, sure, Tim.
It's so weird now because I can actually, it's actually cold. My ears are cold.
I don't know what happened there. All right. Okay, let's get back on track. All right, so this here is the screen you're going to be staring at for most of this stream. And we, as you can see, I'm not a fan of Bubsy. So one certainty in this list is that you won't find Bubsy in this list. All right, have we got music in the background? No, we do not. Can I get music in the background? Is that too much to ask? No, we're just going to do this silent like. All right, add your own music in the background. I'm so sorry. All right, and I am recording this for YouTube, so I'll make it more cool and palatable to watch. All right, so once again, this is a list of my 100 games of all time. How I'm going to be doing this is I have 100 squares down here that I need to fill with game boxes. And I'm going to start with the most obvious one. And that was the game that I've stated at the very first stream that I ever did for podcast, where I asked 3 questions. What's your favorite game of all time? And given that it was my first stream, I answered with mine. And that was... Is it going to work? It's not going to work. It did it before, and it's not going to work because I'm live. All right, let's do this the hard way. So the first one is Halo 3. Whacking that in there. And Halo really dropped at a moment in my life where I was really big into online gaming. I'm not so big in online gaming anymore simply because of time. I just do not have the time to be bothered messing around with idiots online. But back then, I had all the time in the world to, go toe-to-toe with morons online. Half the morons I'm dealing with were friends of mine. But Halo 3 just really did come at a right time. And the Xbox 360, we knew that console was going to do something special with the series. And when they dropped Halo 3, it did not disappoint. So that's the first entry in the 100. We're going to move on. I think another one we've got to put in there because we've got to get it out of the way. Sonic 2. Not the bloody movie. Oh my God. I hate that now. When you search for anything Sonic related, it's the movie now. It's yeah. All right, let's see if we can find a decent box art. Not the Genesis. We don't want the Genesis. I want Mega Drive. That box art looks wrong to me, but I know it's right. I think it's because I'm used to seeing the Americans showing their box art. The box art has the black and grey backdrop, whereas the Power regions had this. But anyway, that's going in. I'm going to be infringing a lot of copyright on this on this list. So we're dropping that. And I found out the perfect size to drop this, which is 2 centimeters for the size. So that makes me able to keep it standard. There we go. You, sir, go there. All right, we've got 98 to go. All right, and with Sonic 2, my Sonic 2 story is basically I was working at Sega at the time, and they dropped me a copy of the game way in advance. So I got to play Sonic 2 quite a few months out before its official release, and the cartridge that I've got doesn't actually have any cover art because the cover art wasn't ready when I got my copy. No cover, no box, just the cartridge with the words Sonic the Hedgehog 2. So I'll treasure that, and I've had people question the authenticity of that cartridge. You can question it all you want. I don't care. I'm not selling it. It's not like I'm trying to sell it. I know what it is. All right. So I'm trying to think of what else. I think the next one's going to be pretty obvious. Actually, no, it's not going to be so obvious. It's Super Street Fighter 2 for Super Nintendo. Now, I hate the box art for the West for this game. So everyone thinks of this box art. Axel says, wonder what Wada would value it at. I don't care about Wada. I really hate. I know it's a joke, but I despise Wada. Yeah, hot take. I do not like this box art. I just simply hate this box art. They made Chun-Li look ridiculous with the face. Everything else looks great. Like, the body looks great. The body on Rhea looks great. The faces, though, are just wrong. And Blanca looks hideous. Like, I know he's hideous, but he looks even more hideous. And what's with the Bionic Man sort of look? Yeah, I just do not like it. I know that this artist, he passed away recently, and he was very highly regarded. But I found that his box art he did also Streets of Rage 2. And a lot of the box art that he did, he didn't even get the damn costumes right. And I don't know what that is, artist interpretation or whatever. But if you're going to put a box art of look at the one for Super Turbo. Look at Saga. It looks ridiculous. Oh, anyway, I'm going on a tangent there, so I might just move along. But we're talking about Super Street Fighter 2. I didn't realize that was the PAL. I didn't have the PAL version. I had the one that I had, which is the one I'm going to use, is this one. But it's hard to find just the Japanese box art. Do I have to? No, just... Wow, it's really hard to find a box art for it. I just want the box art. Is that really too much to ask? I think we've got it there. Okay, that's what we're going to go with. All right, so Super Street Fighter 2, my Street Fighter 2 story is that, I mean, if you want to go back to the very first Street Fighter 2, I didn't like it when it first came out. Because I didn't know what it really was all about. So I don't know if I hated it because I was being a grumpy old man even though I was young. I need to make that slightly smaller. There we go. So I didn't the game was overly hyped, like huge hype, and anything that has mass hype behind it, I alarm bells ring for me. I just do not like getting on bandwagons. Um, but then someone brought it in to the Sega hotline on the Super Nintendo, and I played it for a little bit, and I was thinking, okay, I can see this. I can now see why this game is addictive and why everyone's on board with this. So I then raced out and bought a Super Nintendo of my own shortly after that. Street Fighter 2 wasn't the game that made me buy a Super Nintendo. That honor goes to F-Zero simply because of the graphics um, and everything that was going on with the Mode 7 in that game just made me go, holy crap, this looks so good. I need this in my house. So, but I quickly got onto the Street Fighter 2 bandwagon after I played it at the Sega hotline on the Super Nintendo. I know, right? Weird sentence, but that's how it worked out in my world. And I shortly after, and you got to remember at that time I was reviewing video games for Megazone magazine. Then I went on to Hyper magazine, and while I was writing for Hyper magazine, I got the chance to review Super Street Fighter 2. When I say I got the chance, I had to send my brother to a little bit of a dodgy part of Sydney at that time, and he was only 12, 13, something like that. I loaded him up with a bunch of money, and I said, "You got to pick this up for me. I need this. I have to." And he wanted it too, so he goes out of his way to get Super Street Fighter 2, and he he's ringing me up, crying because he can't find the store, and I'm yelling at him because I was a dickhead brother at that time. And anyway, he finally got it. We paid $150 for that game, Australian. Anyone that complains to me about video games being expensive now, that's 1993 money. That's, yeah, crazy. I did get paid for that review though. I got paid $200 because it was a magazine cover review. In fact, Hyper Magazine Super Street Fighter 2. I'll see if I can find the cover. I always have trouble finding this cover online. So that's the first issue of Hyper Magazine. I had articles in that as well. Nah, I can't find it. It's Hyper Magazine doesn't get enough credit. It was really big in Australia back in the day, but it's just been swamped by American YouTube channels that just flood the YouTube with their history, and so we lose our history as a result, which is why I'm here to try and correct that. Not correct it, but you know what I mean. Try to at least get our voice heard. But yeah, I made the cover article, which I can't find the cover on Google at the moment. But anyway, let's get back to so that's my Street Fighter 2. The reason why I'm putting it in my top 100 is because Street Fighter 2 by itself I thought was awesome. In fact, I've got the arcade machine now. And with the extra 4 fighters, Cammy, T-Hawk, who a lot of people now refer to as Tony Hawk, DJ and Fei Long, when they added those 4 characters, I just thought that, okay, now the game feels complete. And the ability to use the boss characters and everything that you could do with Street Fighter 2 Champion Edition, but with the extra characters. When they added those extra characters, it truly was exciting. And that cover is the cover that I ended up with, and I just think it kills. It kills the US cover or the POW cover. It just looks awesome in my books. That's another topic. We will move right along. I can get caught up in that topic. So we have got a long way to go. We've only got 3 games in there. I'm trying to think of something else that I could put in there. If you guys have got any suggestions as to games that you feel should be in the top 100 of all time, let me know because, yeah, I'm gonna need some help. I got one I just thought of now. Super Mario World on the SNES. I have to put that in there because I saw the reviews and the screenshots at first and I thought this game looks shit. Its cartoon graphics really did give me a bad impression at the start. By the way, you're going to notice that as a theme with me and my choices of games. I usually hate games at the start and then grow to like them eventually. That's just how I am. I can't help it. And that just squeezes in. Wow. So tiny, you can barely see it. Actually, I know what I'll do. I'll make that 2 centimeters wide. Evil Uncle Cucker, how you doing? Nice to join in. Landstalker and Breath of the Wild. Oh! Okay, all right. I'll put them on the short list. I'll get back to you on that. Width 2 centimeters. Yep, that's right. Okay. All right. So Super Mario Super Mario World. I think that's got to be in there because my story is that I was working at Sega when I got this game. It came with the Super Nintendo, and I had chickenpox at the time, and I had to stay home. And so, what do you do when you're home, bored and sick? You play video games. I sat there marathoning Mario World. I was determined to complete it. Not only did I complete it, I got all the stars and finished the Star World and the road, all the rest of it. It's been years since I've done it, so the memory's kind of foggy. But I was playing it under the influence of chickenpox. And I know that a lot of you don't probably remember what chickenpox is like because most people get it when they're a kid. But I was 18 and it messes you like like it really attacks you like a drug. You end up delirious. The room was spinning. I'm sitting there trying to get through. It probably helped me get through the game actually. So I'm sitting there listening to Faith No More, Angel Dust while playing this and completing it and having an absolute ball and loving what they did with the Mode 7 graphics in that game. And to think that I first poo-pooed this game when I saw the screenshots. All right, so that's 4 games. We've still got a lot of ground to cover. Axel says, I was partial to Magician Lord on Neo Geo. I was amazed by the graphics and especially the sound. Cool. They are hill I will die on and fight to the death about. There's no fighting here. This is my list. If I don't have it in my list, it doesn't mean you're wrong. It just means that it's not in my list. That's the bottom line. We need to come up though with at 100 games. We've got 96 games to go. So if we just type in top 100 games of all time, I bet you it's going to come up with crap like Pokemon and GTA, Breath of the Wild. I don't know if Breath of the Wild would even make my top 100. And it was my game of the year for 2017, but I didn't finish it because I didn't feel compelled to finish it. I hated the mechanics of the weapons breaking. Just didn't sit right with me. I might put it in my list. I got to think about it. Yeah, Leisure Suit Larry. Let's put Leisure Suit. No. Oh, okay. I just saw one. NHL 94 has to be in my list because that game just got it right. for sport games. It doesn't get much better than NHL 94. That's going in. And I know most people, not a sport game. Sport games are awesome. In fact, sport games is what got a lot of consoles sold. So anyone that poo-poos sports games are kind of missing the market. And also some sport games are just done well. So NHL 94 definitely gets a spot in my top 100. Are you considering PC games too? I will consider them, but I don't have much of an experience with. I mean, I've only just started getting into PC games since last year. Really, when I got when I got my own. I mean, I've had a gaming PC, which was just a laptop, but I never really gamed on it. I didn't need to. I had the consoles, and last year I got myself a gaming PC because that laptop died, and I've had it since fixed. But ever since I've gone into PCs, I find that all I'm doing is playing the console experience on the PC because it's um, more convenient in some ways than consoles. Like, for example, I've got these new Logitech speakers and I can't use them on consoles unless I go wiring it up. What about Super Blood Hockey? Nah, I haven't played it, but yeah, Death by Fatally Twisted Test. What? What are we talking about? Is that one of the ways you can die in Death on Ice? Wow, in Super Blood Hockey. I mean, all right. Anyway, so NHL '94. It was the first game I think that allowed you to play 4 players with hockey because they had the 4-way play, not foreplay, 4-way play. Um, that Twisted Testes. I'll have to think. I'll have to remember that. Banned instruct. No, is it? No. Really? Super Blood Hockey banned. I've noticed that the game has been out for several months via YouTube, but it doesn't show up on the e-store. Is there any delay with its release, or will it come out in Australia? Thanks. Unfortunately, because of drug use related to incentives and rewards, the game's banned. Ah, oh, flippin' hell. They're getting ridiculous with that. Had to create a US Switch account to download it. Got the physical too. Man, I've got to look into that. I'm a lazy gamer these days. I don't if I can't get a game just simply by downloading it or getting it on eBay, I just don't bother. Um, but that's one game I think that might be worth going out of my way for it. Used to fall asleep to it, and I'm sad that he didn't succeed in. Sorry, just reading my Twitter. I shouldn't be doing that. Game over. Hello and goodbye. What? Hi, game over. Thanks for dropping in. Oh, I haven't got the Spacies bot up and running. Sorry, just one moment. I'll get that fired up. How rude of me. Due to steroid use. That's ridiculous. Like, no one's going to play a game like that and think, yep, they're using steroids, so I got to use steroids in real life. It's like saying that in Grand Theft Auto, you'll see people carjack, so you think that that's a valid form of transport is carjacking. It's just dumb. All right, we've got the Spacies bot up and running. All right, so that's NHL. NHL was just a really awesome game. I pirated it, but then I later bought it on Mega CD, and the Mega CD version was the one that I got to play most of all. We are going to move right along. We need to come up with a whole bunch of other games. Top 100 games. Some of these games can be from as recent as this year. There's no rule saying that the game has to be crusty and old. I know a lot of people are going to ask me to put Chrono Trigger in, but a little side note, I haven't really played Chrono Trigger. I need to play that for a stream. There's a lot of games that I need to play still. That's the beauty of this hobby. I don't know about Symphony of the Night. I didn't really get into it. I found it super hard. I can respect it and appreciate it. River Ray 2600. Oh no, I can't put that in. I mean, it was a great game, and it was developed by a female programmer back in a time when female programmers were just almost not a thing. Do we put Pac-Man in? I think you gotta. So a little. I'm just gonna. Sorry, I'm really all over the place with this. I know. Top 100. So I'm trying to find a cover. Hyper Magazine just does not get enough love online. I came up with the idea for Hyper Magazine to come up with the top 100 games of all time. That was me. That was my idea. And I can't find the cover. And it had a pretty cool cover. No, that's just going to talk about Hyper. Anyway, the reason why I've brought that up is because that's kind of where I got the idea to do these all these years later, is through that magazine article that I didn't inspire it, I came up with it. Evil Uncle Kaka says, I'd play Chrono Trigger if Square released it on Switch. Really enjoyed Secret of Mana Free. I'm gonna start making an omission of mine in 2022 to start loading up on more JRPGs for the Switch. I think the Switch is the perfect console for JRPGs at this moment. I really wish Xbox got more on board with JRPGs, because I think seeing a JRPG on an Xbox Series X would be freaking awesome. But JRPGs just don't sell well in Japan on Xbox Series X. More partial to Miss Pac-Man. And how do I put the cover? Because the cover, well, there is no cover for Pac-Man. It's the marquee. So I'll have to go with the marquee. All right. Nah, I got to put it in there because it made a big difference in my life. Pac-Man gets in there. Pac-Man arcade. Or do I put a picture of the arcade? And would people get it if they saw it? Yeah, okay. Yeah, we're doing the Oh, that's back to front. Why is that? Would I buy the arcade machine from Arcade 1-Up for Pac-Man? No, because I don't want to play have a game where I'm just playing Pac-Man, a machine just for Pac-Man. I think that would be kind of dull. But the arcade machine. Oh no, I'm not using that. It's got some advertising on it. Why is it so hard just to find a picture of the arcade machine? And why are they all back to front? That's the Arcade 1-Up machine, isn't it? That's not the original. If I continue to have a trouble finding these damn games, then I'm just going to have to start using logos instead. Original. There we go. Official. No, okay, that's it. That's my picture. My story with Pac-Man is that I was a very small little boy. Yeah, once upon a time, I was a small boy. And I saw it at the local shop just out the front, and it just seemed weird to see this game in color with no buttons except the start button. Um, but it was the first game that made girls get involved, which is kind of weird hearing that now. But back then, girls just did not want to be in the arcades. Can't get into those kid-sized arcade one-up machines. Which ones are you talking about? When you say kid size, are you talking about the like? Hang on, are you talking about that machine there, the 75? Because it's got the riser. It stands at shoulder height. Anyway, I'm gonna put the camera back in because I'm ruining the magic of this stream. Yeah, but when you say you can't, the riser helps. Yes, it does. It does. So the reason why I want it's a 75% size, so it's not full size, obviously. But if it was full size, I wouldn't want to have it in my. I've had a full size arcade machine, and I know what that was like. Um, I will do a video on this machine one day because I feel like it's deserving of a video. I'm going to be modding it and putting a laptop in there to run all my like I'm going to put an external hard drive to it and have 20,000 whatever. I just want a shit ton of games in there, and I just want it to be my go-to machine for gaming, um, retro gaming that is. So I want it to have Mega Drive, Super Nintendo, um, maybe PlayStation. I don't know. I'll probably. It's hard to do PlayStation because you don't have enough buttons on the cabinet. Because a PlayStation controller, I don't know. Did the original? I need to look at the original. Yeah, it had a two two buttons on either side, so four shoulder buttons. Plus, you've got your four buttons on the face, so that's eight buttons, and you've only got six buttons on each side. So I'd have to reconfigure the controller to be able to adapt for PlayStation. But that's I don't know. One day I might do it. I'm 6'2", so I feel like that'd be tiny. It is tiny, but that's kind of the appeal to it. But it's not like hideously tiny. Like people come in and they see that machine and they're still impressed, even though it is smaller. But if if um if that's the thing that's stopping you from buying an arcade one-up machine, you might want to have a look at the new Pro series that they're coming out with, which is 1-to-1 scale. However, the price is almost 1-to-1. But if you buy an arcade one-up machine, I personally think you have to be buying it with the intention of modding it, because it's not gonna. It's going to get a little dull playing the one game over and over again for the rest of your life. So if you're prepared to mod it and get your hands dirty and getting the machine modified with a PC or Raspberry Pi in there, then I think it's worth it. If you're easily amused and you can play one game or 12 games, whatever it's going to have on it for the rest of its life, then go for it. But just keep in mind that when you buy these machines, the arcade one-up machines, I'm looking off to the side because I'm looking at it. They're totally empty inside. There's really nothing inside it. So some people might think, oh, that sucks. You're buying on this machine and there's nothing in it. No, it's awesome because it means that you can fully modify it to however you want. You can put in there a subwoofer. You could put in a massive PC in there if you want with external hard drive. Just keep in mind that you'd have to put an exhaust fan in there to keep it to a reasonable temperature. You can change the screen on them to make them bigger as well. You can even change the arcade sticks to make it better, more arcadey. So they're really cool to buy as a starting point. I wasn't aware you could mod it with a Pi. No, Yeah, it's a little tricky. There's a few videos that are going about to help you. It's not like something that Arcade One Up themselves are endorsing, but it's not difficult. It's just you got to put in some homework as far as looking up what PCB boards you need to buy for it and to mod it. Once you've done it though, it's done. But the hardest part is the controller because you got to pull out all those wires and rewire it one by one. Anyway, we've got a long way to go with this list, so let's move on. Um, I'm still trying to think of ideas for games. I didn't think that I would be so struggling for games. Oh, okay. Sorry. Yeah, I just thought of another one. Final, not the remake, but just the original. That's not my cover. There we go. Final Fantasy VII. Say what you want about it. A lot of people do poo-poo it because it doesn't hold up well by today's standards. I get that. However, at the time, this game was freaking phenomenal. Phenomenal. It was awesome. How can I explain it? Like basically, this game had so much going for it. It had 3 discs, so much content. The game lasts so long. Like you can go for 200 hours into this game and then finally complete. Little side note: I've never actually finished it, which I will do one day. It's the game that got me into the Final Fantasy series. I never played Final Fantasy beforehand. I'm glad that I did get into the series though because of this game because Final Fantasy series has been um, it's a double-edged sword. I love it, but I also hate some aspects of the game, of the series. But overall, I've got more things that I enjoy out of it than I hate. Um, Final Fantasy VII, the Sega Saturn killer. How you doing there, slow boy? Yeah, I could see some people at the time deciding, no, nah, I'm not buying a Saturn because it doesn't have a Final Fantasy. Um, Trying to think of the game that was. I mean, you had Shining Force at the time. No, not Shining Force. Shining and the Holy Ark. Um, you know what? I'm just going to put that in the list. Now that I think about it, I spent freaking ages on that game. And that's another one that's going in the list. But it's not as good as Final Fantasy VII, I have to say. I mean, I got to be honest and call that. Shining and Holy Ark was a game that didn't get the exposure that it deserved, and it really made people that had a Sega Saturn feel a little bit better about their purchase. um, it was just such a good dungeon crawler style game at the time. So that's another one that goes on the list. Got to get through this list, so I got to keep coming up with more games. I can't come up with stories for everyone. I got to move on. So, oh, there's my stream. No, get out of that screen. Guys, any suggestions for games? Anything that you can think of that should be in this top 100? I'll pass it or flick it. And I'm just looking around the room for ideas. Anything at all? Oh, okay. I just thought of one. Mario Kart 8. We'll do it, but not the Switch version. The Wii U version. The reason why I say that is because I think the Switch version is just a lazy port. They've put in some content, but they haven't really done enough on that game to make it worth its own to be its own thing. And you got to have a Mario Kart in your list. Seriously. So, there we go. Super Mario 8. Still fun to play. Now with Daytona, I'm going to pick the arcade version. I didn't say the arcades were out of this list. We've already got one arcade game in this list, and we're going with another one, which really opens up the conversation a bit, doesn't it? Do you reckon this one looks the best? Yeah, we'll put him in. Daytona. It's just such a classic. This is going to be hard to squeeze that cabinet in there. I don't know if anyone would know what that is. Or maybe I should just do the logo. Yeah, that logo is very iconic. So we'll flick that arcade cabinet because people are going to look at that and go, what is that? What that? And I think if you've got Daytona, it's only fair that you also include Ridge Racer, but not the arcade. I'm going to go with Ridge Racer Revolution. And I'm going to go with the PlayStation. That was a game that really, truly sold me on the PlayStation. Like it really wanted me. That's the game that made me want to get a PlayStation so bad. And I still have fun playing that today. Which one's the power version? That's not a power cover. Where's the power cover? I think that's it. Yeah, it says power on the front. There you go. Slowboy's really banging out some suggestions here. Sega Rally, Afterburner, Golden Axe, Final Fight. I prefer G-Lock though. Oh, okay. Afterburner was fun to play in the arcade. Top Gun vibes for sure. Still waiting for a legit release of Daytona USA for console PC. Okay, because they didn't release Champion, did they? I want to see Daytona 2. Tekken 3 for a solid fighter, but not over the top bullshit. Okay. All right, I've got to keep up with these suggestions. We're starting to get a few suggestions pour in. Took a little while. You guys were a little slow there to start off with, but now we're starting to see some suggestions come through. We've got a lot of slots to fill out. Okay. Golden Axe. And I'm going to pick Golden Axe on Mega Drive. Reason being is because it kind of was better than the... What kind of cover is that? Oh, these are suggestions. I don't like that box art. See, here's another example of where... I mean, the box art was classic and everyone knows this box art. But they screwed up the look of the characters. Axe Battler does not look like that in the game. And Tyrus Flare, she doesn't wear that kind of gear. Like it's similar, but it's not. Anyway, I'm going to go with the Japanese one because that's the one I had. Although maybe people won't know. I'm going to hang on. Mega Drive cover Japan. What? I didn't type in job. Did I type in job? Why is it all low res and shit? This just shows how hard it is to get decent. Oh my God, finally got it. How hard it is to search for stuff online. So my story with Golden Axe It was one of the first games I got for my Mega Drive, and as soon as my neighbors, the kids in the street, saw that I had this game, they would not go home. They came over and they played the shit out of this for ages. Because you got to remember, I had the Mega Drive before its local release. People were still playing Master System and and Commodore 64, and here I am with this arcade style console in my house. Kids were just lapping it up. Truxton Fire Shark. No, I can't put them in. Oh, thank you. Actually, you just made me think of one. And if I don't put this in the list, I've got something wrong with me. This has to go in there. And it's a crime that I don't have this game, but it's just stupidly expensive. Musha. And I just freaking love that cover. Even the American cover. The American cover looks awesome too. It's really hard to pick a cover between those two, but I gotta swing towards the Japanese one. I don't know why. I like the pilot. Although she does look a little bit too mangery. Like, yeah. I would have liked to have seen her have more grit than that, but still a cool cover. So Musha released. The first time I played that was this guy that used to grey import Mega Drive games into Australia invited me over to his place, and he showed me Musha released on running on the Mega Drive, and it was just ridiculous how good that game looked. Like it was such a damn graphical masterpiece for its time, and that soundtrack is just such a good game. God, we're getting a lot of suggestions here. GA was my first Mega Drive game too. Blown away by it. My first Mega Drive game was Space Harrier 2. And I know that game doesn't get much talk now because it was just a tech demo, but I loved Space Harrier. And just a shame we never got a Space Harrier 3, although we did get a Harrier World or something come out in the arcades later, which I still have not played. Robo, at least on Sega CD, the music was great. You know what? I was so disappointed when I played that. After playing Musha Released, and then I knew that there was a new Musha Released sequel out on Mega CD, I remember getting it, loading it, and just being absolutely disappointed with the music compared to the Mega Drive one. I think that was unfair of me at the time. And it's probably a game I should revisit. But at the time, nah, I just did not like it. Axel says, my bro lent my copy of Musha to a friend and never got it back. Still bugs me today. Man, I would bash your brother for that. That's just not on. All right, we got to come up with more games. Yeah, I've already done Super Mario World. It's there. See? Right there. Space Harrier got it. Afterburner. Afterburner 2. I think the arcade machine's got to go in there. Yeah, we're doing it. Arcade machine. Afterburner. And it features in... it features in Terminator 2. If for no other reason, just for the music alone. What's with all these hokey Afterburner logos? Come on. Thank you. That's better. I never got why there's an Afterburner 2 when it's almost identical game. I never really got that. Arcade. Trying to find the right logo. The moving cab was awesome. It was just such a huge flex from Sega when they released that. Why has it got the black background? Can we get that without... Hang on, color, transparent. What the hell is that? Oh, alt. I hate it when people... I shouldn't say hate, but it always bugs me when people try to do alternative logos. Did I say alternative nations? Boop. I like how none of these are actually transparent. All right, in you go. I played Afterburner Climax. Oh, Game Boy Bryant's lurking. Thank you for hopping in there. Glad to see you're in. But Climax, Afterburner Climax the other day in the barcade, it was awesome. Okay. I could never read Afterburner Climax without picturing a woman. Terrible name. I don't think that way. I don't look at that word and think, the sexual term. Anyway.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, let's all say hello to the one and only Game Boy Bryant.
How you doing there, Game Boy Bryant? Thank you for joining. Axel says maybe I'm a perv. I find internet very funny that everything's got to be a sexual innuendo or everything's got to be a lewd gag. Like, I do get it, but I don't. I think it's kind of sad how it absorbs some people's way of thinking to the point where you can't even mention a half cocked. See what I did there? Bit of terminology without someone trying to make fun of you for saying it that way. Anyway, that's a side topic. We've got so many more squares to fill. Let's go on. I don't want this to be an all Sega list, although it is my list, and I do find that a lot of Sega games should make it in there. My gaming experience is far and wide, so I should be filling it out with so many more games. Although, having said that, there was a couple of there that someone suggested before. No, not Truxton, Golden Axe. Final Fight. But not the arcade version, which I've got now in my house. That's cool. But not the Final Fight arcade game, the Mega CD one. Such a damn good game. And while all the Super Nintendo owners were, fanboying over the fact that they finally got Final Fight, Mega CD owners were just like scoffing at the pitiful version that they had compared to what Mega CD had, which is by far the best version of the game, even including arcade. Oh, what has it done? I hate it when they do that. Hang on. I got to find the right box art. All right, we'll use this one because this is the one that I had, the Sega CD version. Although that was slightly censored, and they censored the arcade 1-up version slightly too. It's just stupid that they're still censoring the game. At the start, you see Jessica, who's Jessica Hager, which is Mike Hager's daughter, being kidnapped. And you see her on the TV, they're showing her that she's being kidnapped and she's wearing a bra top and that's it. And they just censored that. And it's just like, why is that necessary to censor that? I just don't get it. And I had a few people kicking in there saying defending the reason why they censored it. I don't get it. Anyway, moving right along. Ghost Squad is a light game I have. Nah, can't. I was gonna put in. Do you know what? We've got to put Doom in. I don't know what made me think of Doom just now, but Doom's got to be in there. But which Doom? Which Doom do you put in? You can't put them all in. Or do you? I never really was much of a Doom guy, though. Trying to think of which one to put in. I think Doom won because of what it did for the industry. It's got to go in there. So we're putting Doom in, and it was the reason why I'm putting it in there is because it was the first PC game, well, second PC game that I saw that made me go, shit, I want a PC. But they were so stupidly expensive. Game Boy Brian says that they censor a chick wearing a bra at the start of that game, but seeing a woman getting punched in the gut, that's okay. Do you need to put in Quake? Yeah, but not Quake 1. I would have to put Quake 2 on Saturn. Yes, Saturn, not PC, because the Saturn version was awesome, and it proved that. See, no one talks about it. It proved that the Sega Saturn could do 3D shooters if it was just handled right. Oh, maybe it wasn't 2. No, it is 1. My mistake. Quake 1. It is 1. My bad. But it still was one of the best versions of the game. And I'm just trying to find a right image to put in there. Yeah, a lot of people wouldn't be expecting to see the Saturn version, but it was such a good version of the game. Let's move on. Really hard to get this right. I'll fix it up, tidy it up later. Fair enough. Just like shut it down. Oh, thank you for reminding me. The next on the list, Revenge of Shinobi. Such a damn good game. Music, gameplay, the title screen, the presentation. And you got to remember that this was a game that came out when the Mega Drive was still really not a popular console at the time. It was still finding its legs. How come I can never get it to just sit right? All right, we've only got 18 games so far. Come on, let's move it on. Hey, we've already done Halo. So we've done. I think I'm trying to think of games that when I finished and I stopped and I just I thought of one. Snatcher. If I didn't put that in, I'd be doing myself an injustice. Got to pick the right cover. Picked this up on day one. Not a single regret. Jeez, it looks so small in there. People will be like, what? What's that game? Hellfire was one of my first Mega Drive games. You see, I had a device that would allow you to copy games. I forgot. I should be doing a sound effect every time I add a new game. I forgot to do that. I'll have to add that in post edit. But yeah, I had it was called a Mega Drive Interceptor, disc interceptor, and it would allow you to copy games from cartridge over to disc, up to 8 meg though. So didn't allow you to do games such as Street Fighter or anything like that, or Mortal Kombat, but all the earlier games you were able to copy them. I'm going to change direction a little bit with this list. Because I just had one of these. I think it was 98. King of Fighters 98. The reason being is that I had this on MAME when MAME was kind of new. I just freaking loved it. That's not an official logo. I can't use that. I try not to use DeviantArt or anything like that. I try to stick to the official logos Because the last thing I want is people chasing me down saying, you used my picture and you didn't get my permission when they've copied a logo that someone else came up with. I always find that hypocritical. So you're chasing me because I copied something that you copied. Okay. Let's put you in there. God, you can barely see that. But anyway, yeah, King of Fighters 98. I just like that one. That version in particular. Axel's come up with Wonder Boy. I think we've got to think of some newer games. Although, as much as I love Wonder Boy, I don't know if it should be in the top 100 of all time. I don't know. I should probably go for. I should have had my. See, my games are all packed away. They're in the boxes, so I'm purely going off memory here. Game Boy Brian says, I would like to play one of the King of Fighter games besides the 3D ones because they aren't my thing. But those earlier games cost so damn much. Just emulate it. It's what everyone else is doing these days, mate. I think you, of all people, by the way, Game Boy Bryant, should get into building an arcade machine. I think you, of all people, would appreciate an arcade cabinet more than most people. Blue Stinger. You know what? We've already got a Sonic game in here, but I think we can have enough room for one more. And I don't think many people would disagree with me on this one. Sonic Adventure 2. On the Dreamcast. And I've got to pick the POW cover. Although that POW cover doesn't look right. Hang on. POW. Box art. I say cover, but I found that box art seems to get more results. What do you call it? Cover or box art? So let me just plonk that in. There's another one. Just a cool soundtrack. They finally got the 3D right. And the voiceover acting, they finally got it right. And it was such an experimental part of Sega's history, wasn't it? And most people look back on it and think that the game still kind of holds up, but a remake would be good. All right, so another one, moving right along. I have to put Shenmue, because if I didn't, it wouldn't be my list. This game is just iconic, massive, huge. And a lot of people don't quite fully appreciate what it did for the industry. It was like a sacrifice by Sega to get that game put up there because they made such a huge loss on that game. But without that game, you wouldn't have all your other flow-on games like GTA, San Andreas, and all the rest of it. Speaking of, it's a good segue. I have to put San Andreas in this list. But I'm putting the Xbox version. Sorry for bumping the mic. What? Oh, wow. Ah, finally. I was going to say, isn't there a copy of the box art for that? Because I know most people love the PlayStation 2 version, but nah, my goat was the Xbox. So there we go. Another game has just made its way into the top list. If I can just get it centered. There we go. Is N64 GoldenEye a big deal? Not in my games. I never played it. So it doesn't get in there. But I appreciate and respect what it did for the industry. But it's not my top 100. This is a very egotistical list, by the way, that I'm putting together. You must understand that. This is my list. My list. All right. So we've got 23 games. We've still got all these games to go. It's okay. I'm having fun doing this. Just trying to think of it. I just had another one that I've just, if I didn't put this is another one of those games where if I didn't include it, then it's obviously not my list. Streets of Rage 2. Huge impact on my life. This game. And I know that sounds like a huge exaggeration, but it isn't. It was a massive game. Played the shit out of it. Was lucky enough to be able to play the game before it was even completed. Streets of Rage 2 is iconic. Needs to be on this list. And the soundtrack, like, you don't even have to explain that soundtrack, why it's there. So many of my Genesis games I've never even beat. Get into it. I'll do what I do and form a YouTube channel or a streaming channel. Why is Max shaved on the cover and he doesn't have a full hair? I just touched on that earlier, if you missed it. That the guy that did the cover art for Street Fighter and Streets of Rage 2, so many people praise and go on a gush about how good his covers are, but I thought they were crap. I never liked them. I appreciate that the artwork was good, but it wasn't matching the game. And it wasn't like you said, the characters weren't even, it's like as if no one even showed him what the game characters look like. He just decided to go off on a rant and do his own thing. The game is nothing special, however, check out the original soundtrack to Total Eclipse for the 3DO and PS1. It's epic. I'll have to put that on a short list. Okay. All right, let's keep going. More games. We've got all these games to fill. There's got to be a game in this century that was good. Actually, I just thought of one. Again, if it's not on the list, then there's something wrong with me. It is iconic, and it deserves to be in this list. I don't know why I picked that. This one. The Ugly Pooh Brown Gold edition, which is what we got here in Australia. That goes into the list. As soon as I get this sizing right. There we go. The Legend of Zelda, A Link to the Past. I managed to beat it for the first time last year on the stream. And I just think it and I hear it being mentioned in so many people's favorite game of all time. I don't know if it's my favorite game of all time, but I can certainly see why people would pick it. And it's definitely a game that's worth visiting. And it's the best Zelda, in my opinion. Axel just hang on. Is there any cover he missed the mark on, even more than the Streets of Rage 2 cover? Well, if you have a look at Street Fighter, he made Chun-Li look totally not like Chun-Li. She's wearing a dress, but the face is just wrong. Check out track 6, Lava is incredible. Okay. Trying to think of something else to put into this list. Did you guys see IGN's top 100 of all time? I've been hearing, I haven't looked at it myself, but I've been hearing a lot of people scoff at it. Top 10 games of... I'm just looking for ideas on games I should perhaps put in my list. Not necessarily going to pick them. Look at this fanboy. His top 10 games of the last decade, they're all Nintendo games. Are you telling me that No other company has made a game that you liked in 10 years. Give me a break. Okay, I'm going to do it. I'm putting in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate because look how freaking awesome that lineup is. You can't tell me that you look at that list and not be impressed. That's not the cover. Is that the right cover? That looks wrong. Oh no, that's right. I'm using the small images because there's no point. Actually, no, hang on. That's not the Australian one. It doesn't matter. I've had a lot of fun with Super Smash Bros. It is in my top 10 most played games on the Switch. Not the number one, but it's in the top 10. And I think they kind of had to reset the series a little bit because the Wii U didn't sell well. So it gave them a chance to run away from the Wii U with what they knew, with what they learnt, and apply it to an even better version. And everyone won in the end as a result of that. It's been fun, almost an hour and a half, but I have to jet. Playing some games with Buds on PS5. He's got a PS5. He has to rub it in. Good to finally catch one of your stream, Spacies. Until next time. Thank you for the subscription, by the way. Glad you could join in, and looking forward to when I play games. This is a very strange shift stream for you to catch. Not my usual thing, but this is a sort of a special. So we've got a lot of games to get through. We've got more to go. I'm looking at IGN's list now. The original Final Fantasy VII is 96 on the list. Wow. Sometimes these All Talk ones are good too. Bye. Okay. Nice to catch ya. So we got more games to get on here and add. And I'm trying to look at more stuff from recent time to add to the list. I'm not putting Minecraft in there. I just didn't gel with Minecraft. It's not in my top 100. I just didn't. I just didn't get it. Don't like it. I'm tempted to put a Dragon Quest in there, but I never really embraced Dragon Quest. I can see myself getting into it eventually. Soul Calibur. The original is 88. And I would have put it higher, to be honest. Trying to think of what about PlayStation? How about we look at what top 10 PlayStation 1 games. Well, we've already put yeah, have to, definitely. Street Fighter Alpha Free. That's got to go in. I spent so much time on that game. That was such a damn good game. And to think that they could squeeze all that onto a PlayStation title, it was just unheard of at the time. To be able to have that, a roster that big and gameplay that tight. Definitely worthwhile having it on the list. So there we go. Another one makes the list. NBA Jam. I want to see what their number one is. I'll be right back. Okay. Tempted to put NBA Jam in there. All right, it's going in. But which one? The arcade. Let's just do it. Let's get it out of the way. NBA Jam in the arcade. Has to be the arcade version. Give me a sec. It is iconic. And now just thinking of it, I've got the bloody soundtrack stuck in my head. NBA Jam, just the logo. I think the logo enough will be fine. Was that the original? There we go. Oh, I hate it when they do that. They say it's the transparent version, and then when you right click, it ain't the transparent one. Stupid. That should work. I didn't get to play it in the arcade enough. I did play it a little bit, but it was just not in there. It wasn't in many of the arcades that I was hanging out with. But the times that I did spend with it, I loved the game. So there we go. That's another one in the list. And while we're on NBA Jam and Midway, I mean, you got to put Mortal Kombat in there. And it's got to be the arcade. Diddly! And it's got to be one of the most iconic logos of all time, too. Look at that logo. It is fan-freaking-tastic. I wonder what the guy thought of when he put that together and when he took a step back and looked at it. He must have thought, I've done good. Is that the official logo? I don't want to use anyone's hokey rendition of it. I want the official logo. But I want the one that actually has the text, not just the icon. All right, we'll go with that. So there we go, Mortal Kombat. It's the only game that I've ever seen a lineup of people, 5 deep, buried, swamped around one arcade machine. And I don't think I'll ever see that again. Oh, come on. There. Thank you. Another one joins the list. Mortal Kombat. Super Mario World is IGN's #1. The list is a mess. I don't know if it was their list or if it was voted. I don't know how they worked out their list. I can't put Outrun is a game that I love the game. I love the soundtrack, but is it really the top 100 of all time? Maybe the arcade experience. Crazy Taxi. Golf Story. I need to play Golf Story. I've got it, and I just haven't spent time with it. You know what? I've just had another idea for another game. I've got to keep coming up with these and keep this moving, because otherwise we'll be here all day. Phantasy Star on the Master System. Oh, come on. I just had such a good time with this game, and the fact that it was the first roleplay game to get me into roleplay games in general means that it has to have a spot in this list. And it wasn't that it just got me into this genre, but it was also good enough to make me want to visit the game all these years later and actually finish it and complete it. So that definitely gets in the list. Will Space Invaders be added? No. Reason being is that it did a lot for the industry. It came up with ideas that were iconic and classic. I don't think the game is just too basic for it to be in the top 100 games of all time. Top 100 games that revolutionized the industry, definitely in that list. but like you can't go back. Oh, I don't know. You can't go back to it now and really enjoy Space Invaders like you could back in the day. Because back in the day, there was just nothing else out. It was new. So I just don't know if it goes in the list. I'm trying to think of more games that are more recent. Not the bloody Sims. Crazy Taxi, I think, should get in there. Yeah. And it's got to be the Dreamcast version. It was one of the first games that, the Dreamcast version, that is, that made you realize you don't need an arcade machine. You don't need to play the games in the arcade. You can get that same experience at home. That's what made Crazy Taxi on the Dreamcast so special. It really revolutionized what people wanted and expected from a console game. They want the arcade experience. Why is it so hard to find a PAL version? PAL cover. Is that the PAL cover? Just yellow. All right. It must be, because it's blue. Strange. Keep going to the wrong. Hang on, I'm going to get rid of the. There we go. Get rid of that. All right. You can see how fiddly this is. This is why a lot of people don't bother doing these kind of lists, because it's a lot of messing around. But I just think it's a bit of fun to sit there and look back on a whole lifetime of gaming and work out what's the best. There we go. What's the best games of all time? Crazy Taxi. What else can we do? What else is out there that is Final Fantasy Tactics Advance was amazing. Never played it. The game that got me into tactics was Shining Force. I'm not sure if I love SF1 more than SF2. But there are so many good tactics. Vandal Hearts on PS1. Fire Emblem Awakening on the 3DS. God of War. Haven't played God of War. I bought it. It's there. I just haven't played it. Haven't got around to it. I know. People are going to be like, what? Are you kidding? I can't play all the games. I did Shenmue. Gran Turismo? I just saw one. Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2 definitely needs to be in this list. Only because of how it made people change their expectation on what you need to get out of a skating game. And it was huge. When that game came out, that was just ridiculous how many people were talking about the game. So definitely needs to be in this list. And very deserving of being in this list. So there you go, another one. This is quite a list we've got going here. We've got 32 games. We've still got a long ways to go. Just trying to think of other games that could get into this list that I perhaps have forgotten. It's really hard to just look back on a whole lifetime of gaming and go, okay, name 100 now. Oh, right. I'm seeing a lot of games in here, but I'm seeing a lot of games that I don't want on my list. Oh. What's that drama for? All right, this is where I get a little bit greedy. Actually, I just got to put not the first one on Wii U, but the definitive edition. This game is awesome. If you haven't played it, you're missing out. It's awesome that you can now get the opportunity to actually buy this game, whereas for a long while there, it was almost impossible to find. Even this version is now starting to get a little bit difficult to track down, but you can still get it. The storyline is so full of twists and turns. The music is one of my favorite soundtracks of all time on any game, any system. And it's just a really cool gaming mechanic, the way it runs. It's just, if you haven't played Xenoblade Chronicles, I can't help you. I don't know what to tell you. But there's another one for the list, Xenoblade Chronicles. Surprised it took me this long to get that game added to the list. Someone's crying out there. I don't know what's going on outside. There's some weird music going on outside or something. Do we put Wii Sports in there? I think maybe Wii Sports. I don't know. Top Wii games. There's got to be something worth exploring on that system. Oh, not that. Do not suggest that. Yeah, I'm putting Wii Sports in there. I did have a lot of fun with it. $54? Really? No. You can't charge that much, can you? That's steep. That's Australian dollars. I get it, but still. 30 bucks most. Not 50. That's a bit rich. Oh my god, I'm trying to find a clean cover. I don't want there we go. Does anyone here remember their first experience when playing Wii Sports for the first time? It was just bizarre to be flicking a controller around all over the place like a madman. But there it is. It's in the top 100. Which God of War? There's two. There's one called God of War. Then there's the PS2 original. I'm talking about the PS4 version. I haven't got around to playing. I haven't played a God of War game. Full stop. So there's that. Evil Uncle Kaka says, I'm sure it's good. My first encounter was on the new 3DS. It was barely playable there. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm not catching up with the chat. Still got a long ways to go. Top 100 games of all time. Oh, Xenoblade. Oh, okay. I had it on the 3DS, and I'm a very patient person, and I thought it was a technical miracle that they managed to get the Wii version shrunk down to a handheld version of the game for the 3DS. But it brings you back to the question: just because you can do something, does it mean you should? And I think with that one, yeah, nah. They shouldn't have done it. I think they should have just said nah. But I think some people got, something out of that game. Tetris. I got to put Tetris in there. Which version? I'm going to be goofy. and put in the Sega Mega Drive version, because that was the version that I was used to. Because I managed to pirate mine from a very, very rare version of the game. If I was savvy enough to have bought this back when I had the opportunity to do so, my $85 copy of the game would be worth well over $100,000 now. There's a gaming regret right there, people. That is big. And I should have bought it, but I didn't. And now I'm poorer for it. But who knew? Huh? Who knew? So my addition to this list is the Mega Drive version. I like the Mega Drive version. It's got goofy music, but that's what I was used to. And that's in my top 100. And it was my introduction to Tetris. Didn't know what the game was about otherwise beforehand. All right, this list is looking very old school. I'm not seeing enough 90s games in here, or 2000. Sorry, I'm seeing too many 90s games. I need more 2000 era games. So, I need inspiration. So I keep going back to that top 100 games of all time search, and I'm getting very little in the way of inspiration there. It's a hard topic. A lot of people think that, oh yeah, just come up with 100 good games, no problem. It's actually a lot harder than you think. But I just thought of one. Now, a lot of people will disagree with it. I do not care. I don't know what's happening with my typing today. There we go. Fallout. War. It never changes. And I had my Fallout, I think I had I had Xbox, that's right. I'm pretty sure I did. It's a damn good game. However, I can understand why people were critical of it at the time. But it doesn't stop people who are new to the series enjoying it. But all the gatekeepers out there would be wanting to stop people. If you haven't played the 3, you shouldn't be playing 4. You don't deserve to be here. Anyway, there's another addition to it. James Bond 007 on the Game Boy. Yeah, I can't relate. I haven't played it. All right, we're still trying to think. What about do we put Fable in there? I don't know. Top Xbox games of all time. Oh no, not of 2021. Not Far Cry. I haven't played it, but I hate that cover. Very depressing cover. Oh, I just saw one there that I got to come up with in this list. Here we go. Banjo-Kazooie on the N64. And why is it so hard to find a cover online? There we go. POW. Oh, is that the POW version? Oh, that box art's ugly. Is that what we got in POW? And they put the word POW version. Oh, I guess I gotta use it. They put a box in the box. That's such a bad cover. I'm used to us getting good covers in the West, in POW regions, but yeah, not this time. Yeah, it's me. Where's me top 100? There. Okay, derp. People are not going to know what that is. They're going to be like, huh? Get your bifocals out? What? Actually, you know what? I will change it to the... I'll change it to that one. Because you just can't see that other one. There we go. I don't have a Banjo-Kazooie story because I never had an N64. I didn't get to discover the game until much, much, much later. Probably through emulation too. And while we're at it, I think we've got to put Conker. Conker's Bad Fur Day. And I didn't get to play the N64 version. I was an Xbox person with this. If I can find the cover. Oh, Conker Reloaded. Live and Reloaded. Isn't it funny? It wasn't called Conker's Bad Fur Day. They just went with Live and Reloaded. I think they just wanted to see the live name in the title because Xbox are funny like that with their marketing. You keep putting it down there. So there we go. Another edition. Conker. We're getting this list filled out slowly. Still can't get over how the Xbox version was censored. If it was Nintendo, I wouldn't be surprised, but Xbox really... They had a couple of Mormons or something working in that company at the time. It was a weird place to be in. And there was a lot of... Like, the Xbox division didn't get a lot of respect at first. Because even internally, Microsoft were thinking... We're not a games company. We release boring Windows and Excel and yeah, it was just weird that there was all this snobbery going on internally against the Xbox division, and eventually Xbox started earning more money than those other divisions, and they started paying attention only after that. Let's move along. We've got a lot of games to add here. We've got a little time. Actually, I'm going to have a break. And when I come back, we'll continue this list. So please do not go away. And while I'm away, maybe you might want to tell some people about the channel and about the fact that we're streaming live.
You are watching Since Spacies. Don't forget to hit that follow button while you're here.
Yeah, and that too. Anyway, I'll be back in a moment. I just got to get myself a coffee because I'm starting to drift off here. And when we come back, we'll continue on the list. And in the meantime, think of some games that I should be adding to the list and I'll consider them. I said I'll consider them. Didn't say I'll add them. Don't go away.
Oh no, goal scoring superstar hero. I don't know. I don't know. Is that the song that they play at the start? What the hell? Did you see?
That was quality. So what you don't see. Someone clip that one. Please clip that one. Please clip that. Someone's clipped that moment.
Just see Wacko Jacko appearing behind me. Like, what?
Someone clipped that.
I thought it was a loot box. Oh! But just... No.
I got it. It's okay. Insanity has prevailed.
Nice. I agree. A 7. A good music room.
I got a 7. You're giving it a 7. 6.5.
Why is there a shower?
Because why not? Look at the floor; it's all wet. There's water coming into the. I like how you can put a rug down on a. You can put water down a flowing river and just put the rug on.
shit, I must leave.
Ah, Jim's constipation.
Yeah. Jim's laxative. Jim's crappy.
Yeah, I saw that. Were you going for the goal?
Yeah, I'm going for a goal shot. Now we've lost.
Oh, yeah. One word, Emerald Rangers, decaf. Oh, that's in! Yes! Oh, what's wrong?
I'm feeling like 100.
You want me to stop the stream and take you back? You're not gonna hell, are you?
I don't know. It's just I don't. My stomach is like weird.
I'll be back in a sec, guys.
You can tell like she's probably sitting on it like or
How do you
he.
throw?
Well, you can't really throw that penguin. You can just walk up to the very edge and drop it off. But yeah, look at that. She.
Oh,
I like how she.
yeah, we did it!
Welcome to the Penguin Killers Club.
That felt good. I got a lot of cool Sonic stuff, but this is probably up there with one of the best Sonic items I've got in my collection. Yes, it's a special screening. So I have to wait. Disc is unreadable. No! What? No! How's it unreadable? And it just wipes you out of the game. Oh, we just got what the show?
What the show?
What? Talk about a blast from the past. What the show has just done a subscription.
Welcome
what?
back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back.
Thank you for the subscription. It's good to see you again, man. I haven't seen you in ages. Thank you for the subscription, yo! That's not a fair quote. Emerald Rangers, you got to remove that quote. That's not a fair quote. I'm talking about the game. I'm not talking about life in general. I'm talking about the game. Do you want me to do a top loader here? I'm talking about the game. I was actually in the game and I'm talking about the game, so the quote can't count. It doesn't count. Because if I was talking about life, then you can count it. But because I'm in the game and I'm talking about the game, it doesn't count. Isn't that what top loader does? And just have a look at some of the... I'm going to show you guys Wrestle Ball. This is the best game that you've never played, unless your name is Tommy. Oh, no way! No way! No way! Toshiaki Sakota is watching! I was playing his game! No way! How you doing? Get a peek of that. Ghost Rack, baby. Yeah. Oh, Ghost Rack, baby. Ghost Rack. Okay, I get it.
Milfbusters.
I should be clipping that. Who you got? There's a test. There's no sound.
So he clearly not a fluke. Okay, I have to pay someone on their team to not go for the ball. Okay, got it.
That's a damn good shot.
Retro, don't hit the ball.
You'll
Please
get-
don't hit the ball. Don't hit the ball.
Okay.
Thank you.
Oh, jeez, you're coming from way
Oh, dang
back.
it, they got it first.
From downtown.
Don't hit the ball, huh?
Okay, proceed to hit the ball now. You can clip that one.
Don't hit the ball, huh?
Clip it, Brian. Clip it.
Actually, you know what? Oh, come on. Yes! Suck it. What happened there? Did you see the glitch? That was some wax. Someone clip it. I don't know what happened there. All right, we're back. And just before we continue on, hang on. Okay, before we continue on, I just got to ask you guys, is the shopping nuts where you are at the moment as well? Like, thank you for the whip. Yeah, is the shopping mental where you are? We couldn't get chicken in the local. We have a IGA store just around the corner, and couldn't get chicken, couldn't get toilet paper, and there's a couple of other things we couldn't get a hold of, all because of COVID. COVID has just made people go nuts and mental, and they're buying in bulk. So instead of getting the big mass amount of toilet paper that we normally buy, we could only buy a couple of little packets because that was all they had left on the shelf. It's just, I don't know, it's just crazy. But apparently they explained it to us that it's not that people are mass buying, which is bullshit. They're saying that the delivery drivers are getting COVID, so they can't ship it as quickly as they normally can. COVID is big at the moment in Sydney, like in New South Wales. We are going through a third wave, but this is much, much bigger than what we had before. We were used to getting 600 new cases a day. It got up to 2,000, I think, a day, and people were freaking out when it was doing that. We are now currently at 50,000 cases per day. And so therefore, everyone's just losing their shit. It's just, I've managed to avoid it up till now. So, Evil Kaka says, yeah, it's screwed on South Australia. Meat is the worst, with the abattoir in Naracoorte shut down with COVID. Oh my God. It's a lot of wasted meat. All that meat will be discarded as a result. It's such a waste. Anyway, we're going to move on. We're going to keep it to gaming because we don't want to think about real world issues like that. All right. I don't know why the sound is messing up there. Let me just try and sort that out just quickly. It always does it. It isn't COVID here when it comes to delivery trucks. I think the drivers are getting a tad lazy. I'm sure it's not just that. Or maybe in America it is. I don't know. Off. On. I'm just going to do a test alert. So just 1 second while I get that done. This stuff's always annoying every time. No, the alerts aren't working. They were working before. Oh no, they are now. And now my alerts are weird. Hang on, I got to do that again. This is what I got to do all the time. This stupid app. I need to change this app maybe. One day. We'll do another test. I'm someone that likes to get it just right. Oh my God, this is so difficult. Hang on. And it's not exactly entertaining stuff watching this. Done. That'll do. Close enough for now. Oh, one more. Sorry. Done. Okay. All right, we're back, and I just had a few ideas when going off to make my coffee as to some new entries for this list, and straight away, I don't know why I didn't come up with this one earlier, because it is the most played game on this channel. Can't even spell it. It doesn't really have a cover, so we're just going with that. Did you see that Microsoft have announced a limited edition Xbox for Rocket League? I thought that was interesting. What? No. What? Hang on. Goofy program, I tell ya. 2 centimeters wide. Why is it not working properly? My side scroll bar is not working the way it's supposed to. There we go. Rocket League gets entered to the list. All right. And another one, which is, I don't know, some people are going to be thinking, what? But I think it definitely gets in there. Animal Crossing for the GameCube. It changed so much for how people think of a game. What is a game? Sorry, just trying to get my act together here. There we go. So Rocket League was entered in there. Oh my God, why does it make it life? Why is it making life so hard? There, in there. Animal Crossing is a game that I can still continue to come back to and play, even though I hate the weeds. Game Boy Brian says, to be truthful, the biggest threat here where I live is bad drivers. Oh, okay. South Australia's cruising at about 3,000 cases a day. Yeah, just 60,000 or so, or 50,000 cases a day here in New South Wales. It's just gone a little bit nutty. We are 40% of the way. We've still got to get through another load of games. Let's do this. Trying to think of games that I think should be deserving to be in this list. It's hard. And it's also hard to make it your list, like to make it have your little flavor on it without it sounding generic, which is kind of also what I'm going for here. Yeah, I'm going to do it. God, am I typing today? God damn. Oh, God damn it. Just give up, Brian. Lego City Undercover. It was a really cool game for me. And it didn't get a lot of attention. And I think that's a real shame because it was a really, really funny, cool, interesting, unique, and sadly underplayed game. Found it. There we go. And I'm so glad that I went out of my way to buy it online. So that just gets entered into the top 100 video games of all time. I know, right? It's hard to think a Lego game would get in there, but this one is just worth playing. All of these games in this list, I wholeheartedly recommend. Every one of them. For different reasons. Oh, God, that coffee tastes good. All right, moving right along. No one's coming up with any suggestions that I could use. But I have had a few people, Rainbow Six Vegas on PC. Never played it. Love the active use of cover and shooting around corners. Maybe I should look back at the arcade. top arcade games of all time. Nah. Why is Street Fighter 1 in there? I wouldn't put Donkey Kong in this list. I didn't like the original Donkey Kong game. I found it bloody annoying and frustrating. Do you know a game that I think should get in this list? Yeah. Yeah, I'm adding it. Hyper Olympics. Hyper Sports. Hang on. I think it was Konami. It was such a damn good game. Oh, Track and Field. I think it had different names depending on where you were. It's so addictive, and I can still play that now and have an absolute ball with that game. Oh, here we go again. We're doing it down there because that makes sense. Did anyone here play this? If not, why not? Why? Why not? All right, so that's another one. The original Street Fighter, the series, came a long way with just a second game. It's crazy. I think someone sat down and looked the original game and said, you know what, we've got a really good game here, but we just got to flesh this out and put some more time and effort into this second one. And I don't think there's been a game like that where the second game is just like shit ton better than the first game. There's not many games, I think, that do that. Evil Kaka. I think I did. I was not a fan. I just put it in my top 100. I'm sorry. I loved it. I love the game. I still can play it now with no problem at all. You know what? I'm going to do it. I'm just going to get the obvious one out of the way. Super Mario Brothers. Nah, it definitely deserves to be in this list. There's not even a question. Even like before I knew Sega, I remember seeing this and thinking, oh my God, that looks so cool. Didn't know what an NES was at the time. And it's just such an iconic game. It's anyone that puts a list together and doesn't include this is just having a laugh. Mind you, it shouldn't be so far down the list like this, but this is not in order. I think I just didn't want the list to be full of Mario games. But it's got to mention, we've still got so many games to go. We're not even halfway. All right. Okay. The elephant in the room. Am I going to put Super Mario Bros. 3 in this list? No, I'm not. But what I'm going to do, compromise. I prefer to play Super Mario All-Stars because I felt that was the only way that I could play Super Mario Bros. 3 and not feel like want to puke at how bad, yes, I said it, how bad the graphics were. I know a lot of people gush about how good the graphics were for Super Mario Bros. 3. I just didn't like them myself. However, when you play the refined version on Super Nintendo, all of a sudden, I just throw all that out the window and I can play it. I don't have any qualms about playing it then. So that gets in my top 100. And it was just such an awesome thing to see that they made the effort to recreate this game from scratch. I think it was one of the first games to do that properly. Panzer Dragoon. Never really played it much. Didn't get into it. Doesn't mean it shouldn't be. I mean, it shouldn't be on my list, but doesn't mean it shouldn't be on a list. Cameron is attempting to troll on your Twitter. What's new? He replied to your tweet with Space Invaders GIF, and he put #1 Sea of Thieves. Yeah, predictable. Move along. Sea of Thieves. 0 all your base are belong to us, Wing. No. No. Really hard to find these games that I want to put on here. Do I put Madden? Nah. The music and atmosphere of the first game really surprised, didn't grip you. No, I didn't own it. So that's the reason why I never played it much. I need to emulate it. Psh, it's good fun. Oh, yeah, I'm not hating on it. I just didn't like it because I never got to play it, that's all. Oh, how you doing there, Trevor Student? Glad to see you could drop by. We are just trying to find 100 games of all time, my list. Got to keep emphasizing that, my list. I've got this really nasty habit of not finishing games. I know I'm not the only one. Well, damn, man. Take some time and give it a go. I will. Oh, no, we already did Tetris. That's right. Yeah, I'm really. What's that one? Is that Borderland? There's some funky artwork there for that center character. What's that? Is that It is Borderland, isn't it? It's a mashup. Oh, I know they got all the other, but the center character is Borderland, right? I don't know what character that is. Borderlands 2 is one. I'm not going to look at IGN's list because it's bollocks. Come on, guys. Can't think of. Do you know what? I'm going to put The Last of Us in there. I did have fun with it. And I streamed it. And I pissed people off by playing it. I don't care. PS4. No, I played the PS3 version. What am I doing? Cover. I think it was good. I didn't get overly engulfed in the storyline like some people get really carried away with it. Not going to mention names, but someone that I know a lot won't shut up about it. But I had to play it because people were accusing me of not being a real gamer, whatever that means, because I hadn't played it. But it needs to be in this list. The middle character is Jinx from League of Legends. See, that's a game I don't know or I don't get. And I need someone to sit down and explain to me what is League of Legends and how do you play it. Because when you go on Twitch, that's all you see people watching is League of Legends. And I'm sitting there going, what is it? I don't know. Yeah, real gamer. I've had people accusing me of not being a real gamer. I'm like, okay. Whatever that means. I've been playing games longer than you've been around, mate. But anyway, if you want to say stupid things like that, fine. All right, let's move along. We're slowly getting this list fleshed together. You know what? I'm going to come away from this stream and then I'm going to think of all these games that I should have put in the list, but I didn't. Basically, it's a 5-on-5, and the object is to destroy the opposing team's Nexus home base or whatever. Okay. Hades, never played it. So many cool games out there, and I just haven't even began to, scrape the surface on all video games in my little time on this planet. Top games of all time. Trying to come up with suggestions. I'm seeing games that I really like that I've already added. Goat Simulator. No, I'll be right. All right, I'm doing it. I'm going to put Breath of the Wild in there because it just keeps popping up. All right, fuck it, fine. I'll put it in Breath of the Wild. I just hated the freaking breaking weapons mechanic. Did they really need to do that? I love the artwork. I love the art style. I do enjoy the game. But it would be better if they just didn't let you have to keep fishing for weapons all the time. That's a part of the game that I really, really, really dislike. Why does it keep putting them over there? Two centimeters done. I'll clean this up later. All right, and the other game that that inspired Breath of the Wild, and it has to go on here, Skyrim. Whether people like it or not, it's got to go on the list. Not VR, not... Actually, I will do the definitive edition. Or special edition. But people know what I'm talking about when I put that in the list. My question is, has anyone here actually finished it? Because a lot of people have played it, but a lot of people haven't finished it. I wouldn't bother with The Last of Us either. No, I enjoyed it. But now that I've played it, I can't see myself going back to it. It's just like, yep, I've done it. Let's move on. I can't believe I took this long to put Rocket League. I'm wearing a damn shirt, and it took me so long to get Rocket League added to this list. Okay, we're up to, what is that now? 47. And I'm scraping at the bottom of the barrel as to what I should put in there. I don't know League. I don't know Rocket. You got to play Rocket League, dude. It's awesome. It's addictive. It's the most played game on this channel. Simply because it's so good to just get in there and play with friends. And no one takes it seriously. And that's the best thing about it, I think. Right. Let's get rid of Breath of the Wild off the screen. I'm just checking out my Twitter. Alpha is still to go. Oh, Alpha Omega Sin. Okay. God, I miss CGR. Yeah, I do too. What's that? Peridius. Is that Super Nintendo, I think? Oh, no. Arcade. All right, we'll get away from that. I shouldn't be looking at that while streaming. All right, let's move on. Do we put Assassin's Creed in there? Really? Oh, not board games. Video games. Come on. Haven't played DEF CON. God, you're coming up with a lot. You're making me feel like I'm not a gamer. You got a lot of games that you're coming up with that I have not touched. Ah, I know one that I just thought of now. SNK versus Capcom 2 on the Dreamcast. Although I've just picked the arcade version. Nah, Dreamcast. Definitely Dreamcast ROM. That game is just has no business being as good as it is. There it is. Street Fighter. No, hang on. Capcom versus SNK 2 Millennium Edition. That's not even. Yeah, it's this one. Mark of the Millennium 2001. I love their lengthy title names. Hyper Edition, Turbo, Alpha, Spirit. Shit. All right. So we got another one. Got another one added to the list. There's a few Dreamcast games making its way to this list, isn't there? Love a good round of global thermonuclear war. Shall we play a game? Oh, is that what you're referring to? Okay. I didn't know you were referring to war games on the. Oh yeah, what is the question of the day? Dude, there are a lot of games you haven't played that I have not either. Oh, there are a lot of games that you've played. Oh, okay, yeah. I can't read apparently. All right, let's move along. Still trying to find 100 games that should be on this list. And I probably should have done some this is research for a video coming up in itself. Mario, no, I didn't like Mario Party. I find those games freaking annoying. Do you know what? Yeah. Okay. So, question of the day is, which company is the nicest gaming company to its fans? Which company is the nicest gaming company to its fans? All right, fine. I'm going to put GTA 5 in there because Trevor, and only because of Trevor. And which I would have to say Xbox One. $28. It's still sold today. It's just crazy how this game just keeps selling. Oh, it's only a digital code? No, we don't want to endorse that. There we go. GTA 5. Crazy that it came out at the end of the last, well, not 2 generations ago, and all this time later, and 2 generations later, and it's still sold and selling well today. There we go. Grand Theft Auto 5 makes its way to the list. Treasure is the nicest gaming company. Oh, well, for that. Yeah, doing it. Although they're not really around anymore. I'm going to do the Genesis cover because that's the one I've got. Because by the time that game came out, Mega Drive was sort of on the way down again. There we go. Gunstar Heroes makes the list. We're halfway there now, people. We've got 50 games there, and we've still got a little ways to go. And I'm noticing a big theme here that most of them are 90s games. I can't help it. A lot of the games that are released today are shit. No, I shouldn't say that. But a lot of the games that come out today just don't hit the same mark for me. No, I won't put Crash. Didn't like Crash. Doesn't do it for me. I'm putting Outrun Arcade. Because of what it did to the industry as far as video, the music goes. And you can buy it now on Arcade 1UP. That's something, if you're into that, you can do. Although, bit of a... It's a shame they couldn't make fake little wheels and stuff to put at the back, but pretty hard for them to flat pack that. Put your own wheels on it. I'm trying to find the arcade cab that everyone's familiar with. The one that makes it into all the games. What if I've done arcade game? Cab. And I think... Where's the one with the wheels? Actually, I should do transparent. No. Did you ever get into Dark Souls games? No, didn't. Like, those games are just punishment. I know some... The hardest game and most frustrating game that I will sit down there and play because it's difficult is Ghouls and Ghosts. And even that's just stupid of me for doing that because it's just so hard. Which reminds me, actually. People are going to look at that and go, what's that one? But yeah, Outrun makes its way to the list. And I got another one that, as I'm just talking here. There's Ghosts and Goblins. And I've got that on the arcade machine here. But Ghouls and Ghosts, I think, was the one that... Super Ghouls and Ghosts is cool and all. I think they both should be in this spot. You can't... I don't know if you could separate them. Ghouls and Ghosts. Ah, man, do you put both of them? Because I like the Mega Drive version. But at the same time, I like the Super Nintendo one as well. Any Sega fighting games you like? What, Eternal Warriors? No, Eternal Champions, I should say. I'm just trying to think of which Ghouls and Ghosts entry I should put in here. I think I've got to be fair and put in Super Ghouls and Ghosts because it is the better of the three. But I just enjoyed the Mega Drive one. Yeah, Super Ghouls and Ghosts. It's just the slowdown on that game really pisses me off. And I've got to put in the purple one because that's the cover I've got. Which is like, what? But that's what the color they went with. If I can find it. Geez, that cover's all beaten up, isn't it? There we go. Found a decent image to use. So good, yeah. Super Ghouls and Ghosts. As hard and as difficult as it is, I just find myself addicted to it, regardless of the fact that I'm sitting there swearing and cursing. I just want to keep playing it. By the way, I got to do something here. I got to do a shout out because this was not my idea. So shout out, and it's... I hope this works. Yeah, so Two Happy Gamers. They were the ones that came up with it. They tagged me.
There we
in
go.
the
So that's
top 10
Chris's
video.
walk on. So he can announce himself whenever he comes in the stream. Foul language. What the hell? Beck's fixing all that now. So we're allowed swearing in ours. Like, what? Swearing is an important part of being an adult. If you can't say fuck, if you can't say
And that's that. You'll find that I very rarely swear on my streams because I just don't feel like the way I look at it is that while I'm streaming, I'm being invited into your house. And would you just step into someone's house and, F this, F that? No, you wouldn't. So that's why I don't really swear that often. Although I do drop the occasional F bomb and whatever here and there. But anyway, moving away from why I brought them up. Two happy gamers were the ones that tagged me in a tweet, and they're saying that I got to come up with a top 10 video games of all time. So I felt that the only way to do it properly was to come up with 100 candidates and narrow it down to 10. So this is the first step I'm taking it seriously because people are going to look at my list and they're going to comment on it and criticize me on it later. That's why I'm doing this. So I want to get it. I want to do it properly. All right. So that was the last entry. I'm trying to think of other games now, guys. Help me out here. I want to get that on on the Game Boy Advance. That looks awesome. All right, let's focus on more recent games. PS3 top games. And a lot of the games that they suggest, I just go, nope, 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 nope. Paulie Kwan, how you doing? Thank you for joining, matey. We've already put Mortal Kombat in. Relax, it's in the list. We're looking at top 100 games of all time, or just 100 games of all time. And then I'm going to use that list to come up with my top 10 games of all time for a video. You just woke up. Man, it's 3 o'clock. What the? I'm trying to count. Oh, man, there's a couple of good suggestions here. Looking at the wrong list. Forda had COVID, test came back negative. River City Girls. I can see why you would think that would be in the list or should be in the list. Still thinking of this list. Ratchet and Clank. Didn't get into it. It didn't. It's not that I didn't like it. It's because I think I had the Vita version, and the Vita version was buggy. So I think that could have something to do with it. Still trying to think of games that don't get talked about now, but should be put on a higher pedestal. MGS4 was the reason I got PS3. I never liked Metal Gear Solid. I'm coming up with a lot of things I don't like, aren't I? I don't know why I'm come across so negative. I'm not. I'm gonna do it. There's a game that is I just come up as a suggestion then. But I'm not using that version. I'm gonna look at the Vita one. Persona 4 Golden. I loved this game. I finished it and had such a good time with that. And if you've got a Vita, you should definitely get this game. If you've got a PC, you should buy the PC version because it's out now. And it is just such a good time. Music's awesome. Gameplay is great. The dungeons can be a little bit testing, but the fighting mechanics make up for it. I didn't enjoy that one much, but once I got Uncharted, that changed the game. So anyway, we've added P4G or Persona 4. And another game that made my list that a lot of people might not know about, but I don't care. It's my list. But I can never remember the damn name of it. Give me a second while I try and remember the stupid name of this game. They always have these dumb names. How come I can't think of the name of it now? Hang on. Top RPG Switch. It will be in that list. And then I'll see it. No. None of them. No. Although I'm seeing a lot of games here I should be including. Oh, come on. Why can't I find this game? I know it's Trials something. Not Trials of Mana. This is so bad. I can't find this game at the moment. It's a huge selling game. Why isn't it in here? Top 10 RPG Switch. Not Fire Emblem. Seriously, this is not on this list. Really? I do need to get into Fire Emblem one day. I keep hearing people crap on and bang on about it, and I just never get time. All right, I'm going to just get it out of the way. Dragon Quest 11 needs to be in this list. So there's one we're going to quickly enter in now. And I'm going with the Switch version simply because at the time of its release, this was the best version of the game. And the fact that you can play a game of this caliber, portable and also at home, is just, to me, still something that blows my mind. Which is why I love the Switch console so much. The Switch console has made gaming just so much more flexible than it used to be. So there we go. Dragon Quest 11 gets in this list. But I'm still trying to find this other freaking game. Divinity, no, not Golf Story is one that I do need to play. Undertale, no. Oh, god damn it. Why does this game get forgotten? Here we go. There we go. The Legend of Heroes, Trails of Cold Steel, but not free. I'm just talking about the first one because that's the only one I've really played at the moment. And derp, done something stupid then. But apparently I've got the second one on Vita, but I can't find it. I don't know where it is. And I went to search it and it was on my Amazon history. So I'm thinking, if I bought it, how come I can't find the damn thing? But I'm glad that it's coming over onto Switch. So people that missed out on I mean, the best way to play it now would be on PlayStation 4 and then continue over to Nintendo Switch, because the company that releases it, Falcom, they've decided to just focus now on Switch reluctantly, because PlayStation is just dying in Japan right now at this very moment. And if they want to continue selling if they want to go where the money is, they have to go to Switch, because Switch has like a stupid amount of percentage of the market share in Japan. It's something like 95 or 98% of the market share is Switch right now. It's just crazy. All right, so that's that. We've got to work through and get some more. I reckon we should just start looking at some of the games on this list here to add to this list, because I'm sure I've missed a couple. We did I love Xenoblade Chronicles 2 and I love the ending, but because I've already got Xenoblade Chronicles on there, the first one, I don't think I should put the second one in, because it's not as good as the first game. Yeah, nah, we'll move away from that. I reckon we should just look at the top Switch games now. And if you've got any suggestions for games, please put them in and I will consider them, because I'm running out of ideas now at the moment and we're halfway through. And I might have to make this a part 1 and part 2 stream, because I've just come up with a shortage of ideas at the moment. We've got 50 games. So this stream title was a lie. I said top 100 games and I've only come up with 54 at the moment. 55. I've still got all those blanks to fill in. God, there's some good games on the Switch. The Zelda Link's Awakening. Skyrim on the Switch. That's ridiculous. That's amazing how good that is. Witcher on the Switch. That's crazy. Although it doesn't look as good. I get it. But still good that you could play a game like that. PlayStation 4? Should probably give that a bit more love. See, I haven't played Spider-Man. I got to get that into my inventory somehow. No, I might have to call get on it, mate. Okay. Is there any games that you can think of there, Paulie, that should be on this list? It's got to be a game that I've played, though. Otherwise, I'd be just lying. Otherwise, I'd be just like, some journalist. Madden. I've already put NHL 94 on there. So just recapping. So far, we've got Halo 3, Sonic 2, Super Street Fighter 2, Super Mario World, NHL 94, Pac-Man, Final Fantasy 7, Shining in the Holy Ark, Mario Kart 8, Daytona USA Arcade, Ridge Racer Revolution, Golden Axe, Musha Released, Afterburner, Final Fight CD, Doom, Quake, The Revenge of Shinobi, Snatcher, King of Fighters 98, Sonic Adventure 2, Shenmue, GTA San Andreas, Streets of Rage 2, Legend of Zelda, Link to the Past, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, Street Fighter Alpha 3, NBA Jam, Mortal Kombat, Phantasy Star, Crazy Taxi, Xenoblade Chronicles, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2, Wii Sports, Tetris, Fallout 4, Banjo-Kazooie, Conker's Bad Fur Day, or in this case, Live and Reloaded, Rocket League, Animal Crossing, Lego City Undercover, Track and Field. I know that sort of looks odd there by itself, doesn't it? Track and Field, but it was just such a good game for me. Mario Brothers, Super Mario All-Stars, The Last of Us, Breath of the Wild, Skyrim, Capcom vs SNK 2, Grand Theft Auto 5, Gunstar Heroes. I can't put Vice City because it doesn't hold up. I don't know. Maybe I could put it in there. Outrun, Super Ghouls and Ghosts on Super Nintendo, Persona 4, Dragon Quest 11, and Trails of Cold Steel. It's your list, mate. You're damn straight it is. All right, GTA, Vice. I love the music. I do love the game. I should put it in there. I think you are right. See, Paulie, you're having an influence and you've just been here 2 seconds. And I got to put the Xbox version because that was the one I had. And it looks weird now seeing Xbox. It's super hard to get a good, scan of the Xbox games. Like that one they've got there is pretty arse, but it's such a small thumbnail that I'm using. I guess it won't matter. There we go. Vice City has been added. There we go. Vice City has been added to the list. Rage in the Cage? No, not doing that. It was fun at the time, but nah. I don't get the fascination for wrestling, personally. I loved it when I was a kid, but I grew out of it. Oh, look at me. I'm too big and mature for wrestling. No, I just see these grown men trying to stick to a bit of a script and they're wearing like leotards and crap. I just can't get behind it. Yeah, Super Mario World is in there. There it is. So yeah, I might put in Sonic and All-Star Racers Transformed. Only because that game was just such a nice, I guess you could say love letter to Sonic fans, Sega fans, I should say. But which version? Xbox. I've got multiple versions of this game. That's how much I like it. And it seems weird looking at the Xbox cover now. But it's going in there. It's in the top 100 games of all time. There we go. What? No, what is it doing? By the way, in case you're wondering what I'm doing this, what I'm using for this is on Google Draw. So it's like Google Documents, but you got to select Draw. And it just makes doing this kind of stuff for online streaming so much handy, like really handy and easy. This is the program or app that I use for all my thumbnails. Yeah, while we're in a Sonic mood. Anyway, so that's another one there. We're going to put in Sonic Generations as suggested by Paulie, and I agree. And if I'm doing that, then there's another game I've got to put in this list. And it's got to be Mania. Oh, come on. This program can be a little bit messy to deal with sometimes. There we go. Sonic Generations looking damn fine next to Sonic All-Stars Transformed. And the last one, Sonic Mania. I don't actually have this cover. It's going to seem weird seeing Sonic, Sonic, Sonic there for a little bit, but hey, it deserves it.
Yes!
Yes! Moving right along. Do you know what? I might leave it at that. I'm going to come back and finish off. We'll do one more, and then we've got to do 40 more games to complete this list. So when I do my top 10 games of all time, no one's going to be able to accuse me of not putting serious thought process into this. Oh, I just realized that no. Give me a second while I just do some housekeeping here. Oh, I hate moving this stuff around. Such a fiddly program. Done. That'll do for now. We'll come up with one more, and I think we'll come up with the remaining 40 later. Actually, I got to be careful looking at Twitter while on stream. I just realized sometimes I see some stuff come up on my Twitter feed, and it's like, oh, you can't look at that. So I should get away from that. One more game. Just one more. Anyone? Anyone? And I could chuck some of these games out if I find other games that I think, yep, they should be in there instead. Get rid of this. One more game. No, I'm not doing Rock Band. Never got into it. Pokemon. Oh, I never got into Pokemon that big though. Bugger it. Soul Calibur. Hang on a sec. All right, we're doing Soul Calibur first. If I can find the cover. How come you can never find the covers easily? Especially POW. Oh, fine. I'll get rid of the POW reference then. Sometimes it can be really hard to find the covers that you need. You can always find the American ones, but never the POW. Soul Calibur. I wonder what they were thinking when they were recording that footage. Not the footage, but the voiceover. Yeah, that's a wrap, mate. You did well. Thank you. When's the next stream, Paulie Q? When I'm not fatigued or down with the sickness. What are you sick from? By the way, we're picking Operation Wolf. Because Paulie made me think of the light gun games, and as much as I love Virtual Cop, Operation Wolf was just, for me, so much more enjoyable. Damn it, I can't use that because you can't even see it. Hang on, Operation Wolf logo. Yeah, I reckon it's going to be a lot of people that look at that logo and not even know what the hell am I talking about. But that game was so damn good in the arcade. Operation Thunderbolt. That was the sequel. You got hay fever. Ugh. Sounds nasty. All right, I might leave it at that. We've got 39 games to go. We'll come up with that on the follow-up stream. I think we will be able to manage to do that in the next stream. And I can go away from this after having done all these games and come back with a bit more of a fresh mind on what to include in my top 100 games of all time. Don't forget to follow if you're following and lurking in the background there and haven't followed. Please do so because I stream 3 times a week, and this is not my usual thing. This is just something a little different. Kind of figured I'd start the new year off with a new approach to the stream, just slightly, and this is what you get. So yeah, I'll be back again on Tuesday night, which will be 8 o'clock Sydney time, and I'll catch you guys on the next stream. Should I put Alex Kidd in there? Maybe on the next stream. In the meantime, my name has been Brian, and I've been gaming since Spacies. And before we do go, we're going to thank some people who were. Thanks. These are the people that made today's stream just that little bit more enjoyable. These people are all good eggs. We had the host, Madino, as per usual. Thank you, Madino. And that was it. That was the only... Oh my god, we need more good eggs. Boo. Thank you, Madino, for being a good egg. The last stream, I had no good eggs. This is the first time I've had that. 2022 is going to be a tough year. My name's been Brian, and I've been gaming since Spacies. Catch you on the next one. Bye now.